Hello everybody, it's Matt here, and we're going to have a pretty short video today, but we got a new Dev Diary number 2 for NASCAR Ignition 21, NASCAR 21 Ignition, sorry, the title, the word ignition just is out of place to me. So there's some things in here, there's really not much, there's not a lot. They have hyped up these Dev Diaries, and I haven't felt like either one has really given us much of anything. The big thing with this is that they went out and scanned the tracks, and then they talked about how much work it was for them to art it up and move the sponsorships around and make sure everything's right. Which I'm sure it's a lot of work, but it just seems like they're talking a lot and not really giving us much information. Like, they could have done this in a tweet, like, we scanned the tracks in. Here's a picture of how pretty they are, and we brought out professional scanners, and every crack is going to be in the game. If it's there in real life, it'll be in the game. And that's cool. I mean, it's good to have realistic track surfaces, but if the cars don't handle correct, then the track surfaces won't mean anything. So, again, just like everything else, until we get our hands on with the game, we're not really going to know. A few other things before we get in here, and I'll kind of just pan through it and see if there's anything that jumps out to me. I've watched it a couple times, and there's honestly not much to say, but we'll watch it together, and if anything comes up, I'll let you know. There were a couple tweets. So Elite Pearson 29 tweeted at Rusty Walrus, who, if you don't know, is the community manager for motorsports games. He asked him if there's going to be movement of the other drivers in career. So will they change teams? And he said yes, and they're going to share more about that and more about career in the future. And he also asked if the All-Star and the Shootout races are going to be in the game. If we're going to have the All-Star race and the Daytona duels. And Rusty Walrus said no, all the points races will be in the game, but the expedition races will not. So let's go ahead and go through this. We're going to start off. You have pretty much the same thing we keep seeing. Seems to be their thing with that horrible song. So that's what we start off with, and then we go ahead and get into it. And they're going to say that they scanned the tracks and show us some glamour shots of COTA mostly. This first shot, we'll pause it, of Bristol. This looks awesome, and you got to look at the amount of people. There's been some shots of tracks where it doesn't look like there's that many fans. And I'm wondering if they're doing that to try to replicate the game, the races on Sunday, because the Bristol night race sells out. There are all these people. So it is curious to me. I thought it was just kind of goofy, and they were keeping fans out of the stands to make it the game run better. But maybe track specifics, different tracks will have better attendance, which would be interesting. We haven't really seen that in a game before, and it's surprising, honestly, that NASCAR would let them have the fans kind of be empty at tracks as an image thing for NASCAR. You would think in their game that they can control, they'd want perfect attendance. But I do think the track looks really good here under the lights. It's our first, well, not our first shot of Bristol, but it's a first really good shot of Bristol. I love this track. If you ever get a chance to go to Bristol, go there. Here's a shot. This looks like it's older. It doesn't look as good. They're talking about how last week we talked about the cars. This week we're going to go in and look at the tracks. They're saying that they scanned everything. Just Michigan here. Looks fine. Here they're showing us the bump map of the tracks. Although I'm not even sure these are the real things. I don't know. They show us this to look cool, but it means nothing to me. It's like, okay, all right, this is under the engine. But, if you're into it, so this looks like it's a real photo. Maybe that's part of the scan. Let's go back. That might actually be something. The more I look at this, I think that might be the photo that was taken when they scanned the track. Because if you look, it looks kind of goofy. So maybe this is a scan, although it wouldn't have the color, would it? So I don't know. That looks like a real photo of the track. That doesn't look like it's in-game to me. I'm not, like I said, none of this really means anything to me. So it's okay. They said that the paint texture is going to be caught on the wall, will be in the scan. So that's all good. The grass they'll add in, and they art it up. And they said they went to COTA. They went to Nashville, took photos. They said they took thousands of photos of COTA, which that place is huge. I mean, this is things that, honestly, it should be expected. If you're making a game, the track should look the way it looks. You've got the license, right? They race there, so let's go out and make it look good. I've got no problem with this trailer, but it's just, like I said, I almost thought I wouldn't make a video on it because there's really not a lot here. I think this looks good. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Maybe the pit road at Dirt Bristol, maybe? I can't even remember. That could be what that is. I was like, where would dirt be other than Dirt Bristol? But that was completely covered. But now that I think about it, I bet you that's pit road at Dirt Bristol, which they didn't show here. You'd think when they're talking about the tracks, I would have liked to have seen something that would have added more substance. Is Dirt Bristol, and shown a car running around Bristol and then Dirt Bristol, and the difference in the way the track surface makes the car run. That would have been something they could have shown us. Instead, they just showed us real-life pictures of COTA and said, we're going to make it look exactly the way COTA does, which is great. That's good stuff. But even they say that, and they show us all these real-life photos, and sorry, it sounds like I'm complaining. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with this trailer. It's just there's not a lot here. They show us all these real-life photos, and then they cut to this gameplay. Why not show us a real-life photo of something you took, and then show us that recreated in the game, 1-to-1? That would have made more sense to me. So I'm sorry. It sounds like I'm angry. I'm not really angry. There's just not a lot here. So we'll see what we get next week. With the dev diary, they said they're going to take a look at the developers who make the game work. So I don't know. I was excited about the track. I wanted to see if the tracks were scanned, and they are. And we just get a bunch of shots of the track. So sorry to come at you a little hot here and not really bring you any information. This shot here looks really good. I mean, you look at this looks good. This kind of looks a lot like the photos. The sponsorship's good. Everything looks good. I've got no complaints with how it looks. I just wish there was more here. But I thought, you know what? Everybody else is doing it. I'll go ahead and talk about the diary. We get shots of lots of new tracks, so you can look at it. Phoenix looks good here. I hate that it's the championship track, but it is what it is. There, that might be Martinsville again, maybe? Yeah, Blue Emu, I bet you that's Martinsville. I bet you that's Martinsville the night race. Charlotte, I love Charlotte. I love this track. So, yeah, I don't know. Not really much there. You guys let me know what you think of the dev diary. If you watched it, if you got the same impression I did. This daytime stuff here, the cars still look kind of blue. So they're still showing us things where the lighting doesn't look right on the cars on track during day. I hope that gets fixed. Here's the one little thing we do get. The one thing we do get, if you stuck with me, we get this shot here of Bristol, cars going around the track, that we can talk about a little bit. I hope this is right after a restart, because this isn't the way Bristol looks. I mean, they're either all lined up along the bottom or the top. They're usually single file, so hopefully this is quickly after a restart, but it's pretty spread out up here. So I don't know. It doesn't look great to me. The fact that they're 3 wide, I mean, people got to pass at some point, but usually you don't have them look quite like this. 3 wide by 3 by 3 by 3 going into the corner at Bristol seems kind of strange to me. 2 wide at most would be what I'd be looking for, and more of a train. I know that's not, exciting visually, but it's realistic to what they're doing. The player here seems to come in, carry way more speed into the corner than all the AI, which seems to almost always happen, right? Like, I can't tell you the amount of times I come and I just accidentally plow into the 19 here, because I know exactly what I can do with my car to get it around the corner and hold the line I want, and all the AI just slow way the heck up, and I accidentally hit him. He does make it up. He slides up the track, holds a good line. It also looks like they're going slow, so maybe it is off of a restart. Maybe this is up front. You know what? But I feel like they're coming into turn 1, though. But maybe this is... Well, no, there's a car there. This could be the first lap. Maybe. So they don't quite look up to speed to me. The whole thing looks kind of goofy. But the track looks beautiful. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, they are coming to the start-finish line there. Lights green. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt that that's a restart, and they're going to get down to single and two file. Oh, got a little thing popped up there. It auto-saved on me. So that's pretty much it for this dev diary. I've talked too much about it already. thank you all for watching. And like I always like to say, we'll talk about NASCAR soon.